Hey guys. Our timing was off a little bit. So we are here for How To with JG and Jody and Carrie, who's behind the camera. So today is all about learning the kettlebell swing. So you might have to start with this size kettlebell, and that's okay. We call this the biddy, and that's okay. But you can learn how to do the swing, the Russian style of the swing, which is amazing exercise. All right, so all throughout, we want you commenting, we want you sharing, we want you liking, we want you to give us a thumbs up, if not for me, at least for the girls. We are going to be giving away some prizes today. This one is an Avocare shaker bottle. Inside, we have got 3 of my favorites. We have got Rehydrate. If you've never used Rehydrate, this is way better for you than Gatorade. A lot better balance of magnesium and potassium. We have the new flavor of Spark. You have to let me know if you like the flavor. This is my all-time favorite protein bar. It's the gingerbread bar. All of this will be given away to someone who is on the video at the end and you have commented, okay? And then we're going to be giving away the big prize, is a canister of Avocare Spark. All right, so make sure you are liking, make sure you are commenting, make sure you give us lots of love, right?
Yo.
We like the love. All right, so the kettlebell swing. So we want to start with, what is it? All right, so we teach the Russian style of the swing, which means it's more for your hamstrings and your glutes. You're not going squatting, you're not going overhead with it. All right, so point number 1. You are going to get your feet shoulder width apart. And you might be looking at Jody's feet. I don't know. If you're looking at Jody's feet, yes, if you're looking at her feet, we prefer to do them barefoot, right? And the reason for that is because you can spread your toes a little bit, you can grip the ground. The other reason is most of our shoes have a platform on them, right? So like these would not be ideal to do swings because there's a drop. When you're doing swings and you're snapping forward, you don't want anything to cause you to lean, all right? So we prefer doing them barefoot. I actually think that's the best way to do them. All right, so it's a hinging motion. So Jody, when we're hinging, what muscles are we trying to target? Hammies. We're trying to target the hammies, all right? So we're starting with her feet, right? We're trying to target hamstrings and glutes. Her placement of her feet is important. She has got her heels shoulder width apart, if you guys can see that. All right, where you put them is very, very important. All right, too wide, you don't have as much range of motion. She takes her toes and she puts them out at a 15-degree angle. If you like Jody's feet right now, give us give us a little love. Ooh, I love Jody's feet. All right.
They told me a couple weeks ago I have Barbie doll feet.
Barbie doll feet. If you like Jody's Barbie doll feet, give us a thumbs up. You might win the package of Spark there. You never know. All right, so.
Using the mat is a good way to place your feet as well. We like to use the mat as a guide because typically that is about shoulder distance apart for the average person.
That's right, yeah. And so most mats are between 2.5 and 3 feet wide, and that's typically a very good placement, right? But if you look down and your feet are out wide, that is not what we want, right? So that is step number 1. When you're thinking about the kettlebell swing, we want to think about back and forth, right? Not down. That's the mistake a lot of people make. All right, so here's what we're going to do. The first, and I think the easiest way to learn this, is you're going to take your hands. So Jody is going to basically chop at her hips, right? And you see what's happening. She's going to do a few of those, and I want you to watch what's happening. It's called a collapse. So her hips collapse back, not down. If you like Jody's collapse, give us a thumbs up. No comment. No comment. All right, we're keeping it classy, San Diego. All right, so she has a collapse of her hips. Okay, so in that position, she can probably feel your hamstrings, right, even without any weight. Okay, so she's going to stand up all the way tall. The timing of the kettlebell actually matters. So if your timing is off, as when you collapse, you're going to end up putting stress on your lower back. So what I want Jody to do, you'll notice the kettlebell is about 1.5 feet, 2 feet or so in front of her. I want her to get her hands on the kettlebell. All right. She's gonna do a 3 for me, right? I want you to watch Jody do 3 swings the right way. Good, and then she'll stand up nice and tall, right? Now you notice that was lovely. If you like Jody's swing, yeah, no. So she was collapsing her hips at the last minute. When she's doing that, she's doing what we call the hike pass. For anybody that's a football fan, think the center is hiking the ball to the quarterback. All right, so here's what Jody is going to do. Right, we got our foot in the correct alignment. We're focusing on hinging, not squatting. I want you to do just the hike pass and park it each time. Right, do 3 of those for me. All right, so see how she is hike pass. She's pretending like she's throwing the kettlebell to the back wall. Okay, so that hike pass is really important, right? So when we're here, we are pulling with force, with power, okay? So if you'll stand up nice and tall for me. So hike pass, right? The next piece is what's happening at the top of the rep, right? So you'll see some people, they do it all the way overhead. That's actually the American style of the swing, has different benefits. We don't prefer that. We like this one, which means shoulders are in your sockets. All right, so Jody, if you'll get in the position, so let your shoulders kind of come out of socket. So this is what we see a lot, right? People's shoulders kind of collapse, right? We want to take your shoulders and put them down in their sockets. All right, Jody, if you'll do 3 full swings, everybody watch her shoulders. See how they're staying down in their sockets. Beautiful, very nice. All right, what happens is when we get to here, shoulders come out of their sockets if we go overhead, and then they slam down into the socket. So why don't, can you do that with your shoulder? She's going to grab a light one. I want you to see what you probably see this a lot, whether it's CrossFit or wherever. It's a different type of swing. The reason we don't like it is what's happening when the shoulders come down into their sockets again. So she's never done it this way. All right, so see how when she comes up, there's a lot of force coming down. Those shoulders are coming down into their sockets. Right? We don't want that with the Russian style of the kettlebell swing. So we're going to move that bad boy out of the way. All right? So you're going to get it in the park position. All right, she's going to hike pass, and then she is going to snap her hips with power, and I want you to watch how high the kettlebell goes. All right? Oh, that's lovely. Ain't that lovely, y'all? That's so lovely.
I had a good teacher.
Aww.
Thanks,
Right.
Louie.
Hey. She did not. All right, you're out and Carrie's in. All right, so if you noticed, right, there should be a straight line. No, don't give hearts for that. No. No. Maybe Lewis will watch and he'll give a heart. All right. So you noticed it was in her line of sight. All right. So if that kettlebell is up above your eyes, you know you've gone too far. So that means the shoulders have come out of their sockets. Okay? Right. Exactly. Right? So what I want Jody to do is she read my mind. Wow. Lewis taught you really well. I'm so proud of him. All right. So, all right. I want you to focus on the snap forward and your breath. Okay? So maybe do 5 for me. All right? So I want you all to watch how quickly she goes forward. That's where the power is happening. So look, she's way more powerful now, right? Exploding forward. But that kettlebell is not coming up over her head. All right? And the reason she's able to do that is she's keeping her shoulders down in their sockets, and the kettlebell floats. All right? Now, if you'll get back in the position. Assume the position. All right, everybody look at the shape of her legs. It should look like a C. Okay? We're applying force by getting into that C shape. Every swing, they get into a C. They're not straight, but we're also not squatting. All right? We are going to tag team now. I think we're going to bring in Miss Carrie.
Uh-oh.
Yes. So thank you, Miss Jody. We'll bring you back in a moment. Thank you. Thank you. If you liked Jody's swing, and remember, if you are watching live, you got to tell me why you want the spark or why you want the shaker bottle and some of my 3 favorite things in there.
Amy Tucker just said, I hope you are counting these, Jody.
For the 10K
For the
club.
10K
Yes,
club.
good call. Good call. All right, so I want you to think of this analogy like you've heard me say it, bow and arrow. Right? So if you've shot a bow and arrow before, we want you to, yes, Jeremy, I've shot a bow and arrow, right? That you could win a prize just by commenting. So if you can picture a bow and arrow, right, we pull it to here, not very strong. If we pull it all the way back and let it go, now we have a lot more power, okay? And that's what we're going to focus on with Miss Carrie. We're going to focus on how far back her hips go each time. Okay, so bow and arrow, we'll pull it here, not power. Pull it here, power. So you're going to do 5 for me. You want a light one? Are we good with what we got?
I'm going to.
She hasn't had a chance to warm up, and it's like 37 degrees in the studio today. So we don't believe in heat here at GTS. We bring the heat, all right?
Ooh. Good one.
Hashtag.
That was good.
Mic drop. Facebook Live over. All right, so you're going to do 5, and I want everybody watching live, watch this later, I want you to watch it, how far back her hips go, and just imagine bow and arrow.
I feel a lot of pressure suddenly.
All right.
Woo!
Do them right.
Nice collapse.
Do them right.
Thank you.
Your collapse is fantastic. So watch her hips go back. It ends up looking like a bow and arrow. That's C-shape.
Yes. Shoot it.
Yes. Yes. All right, so C-shape bow and arrow. All right, when we're in that collapsed position, okay, it's all about the power and the breath, right? You heard Jody doing it, you probably heard Carrie doing it. We want to breathe out when we're here. So, all right, so do 5 more for me. Watch her hips. Watch Carrie's hips.
They don't lie.
They don't.
They're looking at your hair.
Hips don't lie.
They're looking at your hair, Carrie. They like
5.
it. Thank you.
5.
5.
5. Good.
Woo!
Excellent. That's beautiful. That's so lovely. All right, so, right, we're creating power. Every swing, every rep needs to have a breath, and it's when we're here. So I'm actually going to have you turn and face the camera.
Face on.
All right, and go ahead and put your kettlebell over. All right, next part we're going to look at is where does the kettlebell pass? Okay, so when we're collapsing, we want our forearms to hit our thighs, right? And you can imagine this triangle, right, between up high and your knees. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you.
Right? Up high and the knees.
Right near your collapse.
Right near the collapse. This Facebook Live is going downhill, y'all.
That's when we have special guests.
Yeah.
That's the best one yet.
Best one ever. All right, so the handle of the kettlebell should pass in that triangle. All right, so you're going to do 5 more for me, please.
Ooh, 15 total today.
15 total swings. Watch where the handle is passing each time. Good. Excellent. All right, so what that does is it prevents you from doing this. We see it a lot. People are learning to swing and they're coming here, right? So that would have passed well below my knees, and that's putting a lot of pressure on your lower back, right? You don't want that. All right, so turn sideways again for me, please. All right, last piece to the swing. All right, is what's happening. Are we trying to go fast, or are we trying to create power? We want to create power, okay? Not how fast can we do the reps, okay? So here's what's going to happen. All right, so she's going up. She just upgraded herself. All right, so here's what's going to happen, all right? I didn't even prep her for this. You don't even know this is coming. All right, so she's going to do 10 swings for me. She's going back down. I'm getting lighter. At the top, what I'm going to do is to start applying pressure.
Oh, boy.
Yes, it's going to get a little stronger, maybe Jody should do this one. We got some issues, yeah. Step on now. Thank you, Carrie. Give Carrie a round of applause. Make sure you give her a thumbs up. You could win the prize if you're on here and you've commented. You could win some of my favorite Advocare things.
Karen told us to keep our minds out of the gutter.
Out of the gutter.
Keep your minds out of the gutter. We've lost control. All right, so she's going to do 10 for me. And with each swing, I am going to apply a little more pressure. So it's going to start real easy. It'll get a little more physical. I'm going to shove her into the wall. And what's going to happen is she's not going faster. She's trying to create more power with each rep, right? So you guys,
you better watch out, Jeremy.
Watch and enjoy. It's going to start on the second rep, Jody. Okay, ready? Watch her power. Perfect. That's fabulous. That's fabulous. So you get a high five. Get a high. My Brandy wants to bring back the high 10, but I refuse. I will not bring back the high 10. No, no high 10. So you saw what happened there, right? She wasn't necessarily going any faster, right? But she was creating more power. So it doesn't matter if you have a really light one or if maybe we have something slightly heavier. You're trying to create the same power from here to here. If it floats a little bit, that's okay. As long as we keep the shoulders down and it floats, totally fine, totally normal for the kettlebell swing. So, I feel like you can do 10, you can crank out 10 of those. This is kind of medium-ish. No, I'm not. You're pushing me.
Stop pushing me, Jeremy.
I'm not going to push you. All right, she's going to do 10 powerful swings. Look where the kettlebell's passing. Look at the power coming forward, and part of the power is coming from her breath. It's a powerful swing. Beautiful. Excellent. That was fabulous. All right, so the kettlebell swing is one of the one of the greatest exercises I think ever invented. Now, it's a little bit complex, right? It takes time to learn swing. This is giving you an intro if you're like, you know what, Jeremy, I would love to do the kettlebell swing. We've talked about this a little bit. We're contemplating maybe having a kettlebell workshop. If you would like us to have a kettlebell workshop here at GTS, yes. Say, Jeremy, I would love to have one of those. I would come to something like that maybe on a Saturday or something, okay? So make sure you let us know if you would like to come learn more about how to do that. There's a lot of tools. It takes a lot of time. You do have to be patient with it. But there are studies that show, this is actually some of the posts that I put out there, doing the kettlebell swing with the appropriate weight, you can burn as many calories per minute as if you were running a 6-minute mile. And those of y'all that are runners, you know that's fast, all right? That's a really good clip. You are running. You can do the same thing with kettlebell swings without all the impact, right? So if you don't want to run or can't run maybe, kettlebell swing is an awesome thing for you. All right, so as a reminder, you might start here. That's okay. Make sure, if you're on right now, tell me, you know what, Jeremy, I want that bottle, I want those Advocare products, and then this is the big prize we're going to give away sometime tomorrow. This one, you have to comment and you have to share. If there's somebody you're like, you know what, I would like for somebody to learn about this, share it with them. I will randomly draw of the people who share. I will give away, that's a $60 value. That's our Advocare Spark. It doesn't have to be that flavor. It can be any of the ones that we have on the shelf here, which there's a whole bunch of different flavors. So, kettlebell swing, awesome exercise. It is one of my all-time favorites, something that I'm trying to hopefully progress back to and learn to be able to do that. So, a few little quick bullet points, right, to give you all that are just joining in now. If you're still here, make sure you stay on right to the end, because then Carrie is going to randomly select anybody that's on here that's commented. She didn't know she was given this job. All right, so a couple quick points about the kettlebell deadlift, the Russian style, which is like what we teach. All right, so number one, it's a hinge. It's for hamstrings and glutes. So we call that your posterior chain, right? Like when you're walking away on the beach this summer, you want to look good as you're walking away, right? So it's your posterior chain. Hamstrings, glutes, yes, there is a little bit of work for lower back, but it shouldn't be the other way around. It shouldn't be, I feel it mostly back, then a little bit of hamstrings. If that's the case, you're not doing it right? So posterior chain. The second thing is it's a power move, right? You want to explode, you want to use your breath, you want to breathe in on the collapse. Power and breath. It is one of the most misunderstood, misused things when it comes to exercise, right? Use your breath. There's lots of power in it. And the other key part to it is where the kettlebell passes. That's probably one of the things people make the mistake on the most, is they pass too low, or they do what I call a crotch swing. right, which is way up high. So there's no range of motion. I got to keep them in order after I said that, right? So we want to be here, all right? So shoulders are back, chest is open, but we want to be able to height pass and then explode forward. So I'm thinking we're going to give away the prize. Carrie.
All right.
All right, who's on there that's live, that's on right now, that commented, that's going to get the prize?
I'm picking the fourth person that's
the
on there.
fourth person is
Paula Vickers.
Paula Vickers. You have earned the Avocare shaker bottle. I use this bottle almost every day. The gingerbread bar, that's one of my favorites. The Avocare Rehydrate and the Spark. So guys, if you would like to for us to host a kettlebell swing workshop, make sure you comment, all right? If there's enough of interest, then we'll have that here at GTS. Thank you all so much. Hope you learned something. Make sure you share with someone, tag someone if you would like to win that canister of Spark. Thanks, guys.